Greetings everyone, this is Sayo the Terror of Death 99, aka the Black Cobra. And I'm back for some more of Wright through Destinies. Now, I apologize for what happened yesterday. I was having issues with my mic. My mic came unplugged while I was trying to record. So I wasn't able to get any commentary done. Anyway. Okay, time for a quick little recap. We actually found out a lot of stuff yesterday. Okay, first thing. Well, first up we found out that Athena was actually at the detention center, and she was actually accused of murdering her own mother. Something I absolutely do not believe. Next thing, we actually found out that Prosecutor Blackquill's sister had actually pretty much taken over the Space Center and actually had taken hostages. The main reason why is because we also found out that Simon Blackquill was actually a day away from execution. One moment, everyone. Just gonna check something. Now, when we last left off, we were actually about to cross-examine Ponko. Now, let's continue, shall we? So it's the right window on the workbench side of the room. Now, time for one more little recap. Let's see. Right there. Let's see. Matisse's autopsy report. Estimated time of death between 1 and 3 p.m. on October 7th. Cause of death, instant death due to a stab wound to the heart. Robotics Lab West Side. The victim's body was found on the operating table. A katana, the victim's staff jacket, and a cart were found nearby. Alright, let's continue. workbench, huh? Punko must be talking about that table. So right at where that giant robot is now. Is there something critical in Punko's statement just now? That's what I'm thinking. Something doesn't fit. Your Honor, I believe this statement is critical. I'd like to add it to her testimony. Punko, would you please add that statement to your testimony? Let's see. Matisse fell down near the round window on the workbench side of the room. Wait a sec. Objection, Your Honor. Punko, your statement may have just inspired a breakthrough. Ah, greetings, Zevran. Just to be sure, let's go over it again, okay? The victim fell near the window on the workbench side of the room. However, her body was discovered on the operating table. But the operating table and the workbench are two different locations. That's very true, Your Honor. Exactly, Your Honor. We've just learned a new crucial fact. What could explain the two very different locations of the body? I'll tell you what. And in fact, I happen to know exactly what it is. An 11-year-old girl couldn't have moved the heavy body of an adult. So the only explanation is that the victim walked to the operating table herself. In other words, what Punko observed near the workbench couldn't possibly have been the moment of the murder. Yes. As we just heard in the testimony, Miss Sykes hugged her mother, nothing more.
Objection!
Edgeworth. Sure about that, Prosecutor Edgeworth? The defendant couldn't move the body herself. You could have had it move for her. I don't buy it. Move for her, but Miss Sykes and Dr. Sykes were the only ones there. The robot is equipped with a heartbeat detection system. It would have been aware of another person's presence if someone else had been there. We can therefore conclude that the defendant and the victim were the only ones present. Don't you know it's in the nature of a robot to help people do things? Learn how to pronounce her name, Edgeworth. It's Ponco. Ponco. I believe you said you were cleaning after Dr. Sykes fell down. Did you happen to move something large onto the operating table? Athena asked you to? And what did you move, Ponco? Something has an ID tag. A tag with a barcode on it. We robots scan them to tell us what the thing is. That paper in the lab did mention something about that. Ponco series features can determine the presence of a human with their heartbeat detection system, recognizes people by scanning their spacesuit or uniform jacket ID tag, can also recognize a person by facial features once the face has been registered, can infer people's emotions by analyzing their tone of voice and communicate with them. Miss Ponco can't identify when it moved. We humans have the power to imagine what it was, do we not? On the defendant's command, move the body onto the operating table. Ponco did. I don't buy it. Ponco, did you really move Dr. Sykes' body? This is very important. Is there any other way you can tell? Sorry, Edgeworth, I'm not buying it. I'm quite aware of that, Edgeworth. Furthermore, Dr. Sykes usually wore a white coat while she was working. Yes, I know that. She kept the jacket with her ID tag on it. Draped over a chair in the robotics lab. Yes, I know that, Edgeworth. The victim wasn't wearing her ID tag at the time. From the robot's point of view, her body was simply just another object.
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor! Ponco is equipped with a facial recognition system. If she really did move the victim, she would have recognized the body as Dr. Sykes. But she didn't, so that means...
Objection!
I know that, Edgeworth. He's right. To summarize, Miss Sykes stabbed her mother near the workbench, then, using the robot, she She moved the body to the table, where she removed the sword and was stained in blood. I don't buy it. Yes, Your Honor? Why did the defendant move the body to the operating table in the first place? Here we go. Now, yesterday I mentioned that this game is the only game in the Phoenix Wright series that is actually rated M for mature. Well, you're actually gonna find out why very shortly. There are 5 games in the Phoenix Wright series. This is game number 4. I'll tell you all the games in order, from 1 to 5. We have Ace Attorney, Justice for All, Trials and Tribulations, Dual Destinies, and Spirit of Justice. You can't possibly have an explanation there, Edgeworth. Common rational thought will open your eyes to the truth in front of you, Mr. Wright. Yeah. This is going to be very, very disgusting, everyone. I know exactly what Athena was trying to do, and she did not kill her mother. What she actually tried to do is even more disgusting than even trying to kill her own mother. I think you can figure that out, what Athena was trying to do. This young sheltered girl had a difficult time distinguishing robots from people. Take a look at Ponko's arm. It was Mr. Sykes who bandaged it up like that. An adorable, naive mistake. It reminds me of my own. No way. I refuse to believe it. Sykes had a childish, naive, and cruel mistake. Made it. She thought that if a robot could be dismantled and vanish without a trace, Prosecutor Edgeworth, if you're about to claim what I think you are, I demand that you word it as delicately as you can. With all due respect, Your Honor, all I can do is present the truth as it stands. The reason the defendant moved the victim's body to the operating table... Hold it! Hold it! No! Don't say another word. Just stop, Edgeworth. To dismantle the evidence so that she can get away with her crime. That can't be true! Edgeworth, she was just a little kid. How could you say such a horrible thing? My theory is simply the result of a rational consideration of every possibility.
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor. But dismantling it isn't the table's only function. It can make repairs as well. It's conceivable that Miss Sykes moved her mother to the table in order to fix her. Dismantle or repair, it doesn't matter either way. What do you mean? Yeah. But we mustn't forget the facts of this case. The victim was observed to fall down after being hugged by the defendant. And the body was moved per the defendant's command. These two facts that indict the defendant's guilt, remain unchanged. Yes, I do, Your Honor. I do have evidence. No, Edgeworth. Edgeworth, I am not done yet. Oh, I do have a counter argument. And Athena is not going to be found guilty. Edgeworth's argument seems solid enough. However, there's no way Athena could have ever done anything like that. What do I do? There has to be something, but I can't think of a single thing. Objection, Your Honor! Prosecutor Blackquill. What are you talking about? False premise. Go on, we're listening. Could this be the miracle I need? What is Prosecutor Blackquill trying to pull here? 7 years. For 7 long years. This case has been on my mind. Not for an instant did I not think of it. I'm the one who killed my mentor. And don't think you can't alter the fact now. Your Honor, I will take the stand, and I will not take no for an answer. I went to the Cosmos Space Center with the intention of killing Dr. Sykes. But when I got to the robotics lab, I found Athena there instead. I would not be swayed by from my purpose, so I waited for Dr. Sykes to return. And then I committed the act. Ah, how cathartic it was. One of Ponko here has witnessed the victim falling. And
Objection!
There's no dead body either, of course, meaning she must have left the room. So the murder occurred after the time period Ponko described in her testimony?
Objection!
Then how do you explain the fact that the defendant had the robot move something? Dina was always tinkering with robots on the operating table to amuse herself. She always had Ponko move the heavy ones for her. That day was no different. Ponko moved a heavy robot for Athena. This is not good. What he's saying seems to make sense, and yet...
Objection!
Prosecutor Blackquill, are you trying even now to turn away from the truth? Don't you realize we could bring up the dark age of law to a close today?
Objection!
I'll be glad to send you to hell, Prosecutor Blackquill. Prosecutor Blackwill's execution is tomorrow. If the truth doesn't come out now, it's all over. You saying the little girl and the robot had nothing to do with the murder? That's right. So it's your verdict. If we don't hurry, I might miss the ferry across the Styx. Hold it! Aura! Miss Blackquill? Aura, by the way, is Simon Blackwill's older sister. Blackquill, you selfish. To be frank, I don't like this. It's my duty to make a decision. If no one has a counter-argument, I will announce my verdict. Is this really happening? Is it really gonna end just like this? Just like it did 7 years ago? I lied to Athena. I don't think Athena will ever forgive me. I can't let this happen. I just don't have the evidence to counter Prosecutor Blackwill's testimony. Hold it! Athena! What are you... He's hiding something. If he really is, I could sure use Athena's help here. Her power might be just the thing to get us through this.
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor. These past 7 years, they've been just as hard on me, you know. Do you remember? A horrible, horrible trial? Even now, every time I stand in the courtroom, it comes back to haunt me. Not being heard, no matter how hard you try, feeling so helpless. Caught in people's stares, so scared that it feels like your chest is in a vise. I want to run out of the door even now. And yet, you find a way to keep your fears at bay and become a lawyer. This day has finally come, a day I've been looking forward to with all my heart. This is why I became a lawyer. This is why I study psychology. It's all to save you from this false conviction. The only thing that matters is the truth. It's my duty to find out what the truth really is. Simon, please give me the chance. The chance to shake off this fear that's been with me for 7 years and to face the truth. Athena's being so brave and confronting her past like this. This might be really the last chance to save them both. Prosecutor Blackquill, please testify one more time about the incident 7 years ago. Sure about that, Prosecutor Blackquill? Let's do this. Let's begin, everyone. The Moon Matrix is officially underway. Yes, that is what it's called. The Moon Matrix. One moment, everyone. Alright, let's get started. I went to the Cosmos Space Center with the intention of killing Dr. Sykes. When I got to the robotics lab, I found Athena there instead. I would not be swayed from my purpose, so I waited for Dr. Sykes to return. And then I committed the act. Oh, how cathartic it was. Now, for those of you who have not played the Phoenix Wright games, or I should say Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies, I will show you how the Moon Matrix works. Watch what I do. Got it. This feeling of happiness. Even though the person you were looking for wasn't there, you felt happy. Why is that? Simple. When I was looking for Athena and hadn't found her yet, I grew worried. So when I saw her in the robotics lab, I was happily relieved. Merely that. Just now, you said that you went to the Space Center to kill Dr. Sykes. But the first thing you did was look for her daughter instead. Her daughter instead? I had no intention of harming Athena, so I wanted to confirm that she was safe first. Just a part of my plan. Nothing contradictory about that. Second I find the inconsistency, he cuts it down. Simon knows the principles of analytic psychology. There's less noise now, but I don't see any instabilities we can latch onto. I was afraid of that. We just had to keep chipping away at him, then bit by bit. Could you update his testimony, Athena? Let's see what we got here. Went to the Cosmos Space Center with the intention of killing Dr. Sykes. When I found Athena in the robotics lab, I was relieved. But I would not be swayed from my purpose, so I waited for Dr. Sykes to return. And when she did, I plunged the katana in. Why would he actually try to kill his own mentor? That is what I'm trying to figure out. Got it. Not even you could falsify your emotions, Prosecutor Blackquill. When you said you killed Dr. Sykes in your testimony, you felt sadness. Why would someone who had lain in... Wait, to kill her, be sad at her death. I'm sorry for Athena and her circumstances. What? He can't be talking about that, can he? Her research. She forced her daughter to undergo experiments. My objective was to save Athena. I'm an obsessive scientist who treated her own daughter like a research subject. What? I went to the psychology lab first. That's where I usually see Athena playing. But that day was different. I heard someone crying in the robotics lab next door. Was Athena being subjected to yet another experiment? I thought as I went to see. Conveniently, Athena had cried herself to sleep, so all I had to do was wait and kill. That's why he was relieved when he saw Athena. But is this story really true? I'm not sure how much to believe. Yes, Athena? How are you doing, Athena? Still hanging in there? The noise will actually increase. What? It went up? I've never seen it do that before. He's lying. Prosecutor Blackquill is lying somewhere in his testimony. As a matter of fact, he's piling lie on top of lie in an attempt to make his claims sound more believable. He's trying even harder to suppress his true feelings, and that's what's causing the noise. How should I approach this? An evidence-based approach might work if I can find a contradiction. Otherwise, I should look for an inconsistency in his emotions. No flaws in my testimony. Sure about that, Prosecutor Blackquill? I don't think so.
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor. I don't think so, not while I'm around. Now, contradictory testimony or inconsistency emotions. What should I tackle first? I'm not buying it. Okay, let's look for inconsistent emotions. Very well. I heard crying from next door. Of course, I was worried. I hurried over and opened the door to the robotics lab. But before I could lead Athena out of there, curse my luck, Dr. Sykes came in. I refused to hand Athena over, so I had no choice but to kill my mentor. not buying it. Something's not right. Got it. Ah, damn it. I screwed up. There we go. How odd. Why would you register surprise at opening the door of the lab? Dr. Sykes knew full well my plan to rescue Athena. But she couldn't stand guard over her daughter 24 hours a day. So Dr. Sykes had Ponko do it? That's right. She ordered Ponko to forcibly remove me on sight. So I slashed Ponko up with the katana that was there in the lab. The rickety old puppet wasn't worthy of the fine blade. What? What the hell? Is that 100% now? What's going on here? Whenever we find opening, he covers it up with lies. Something's not right. It's pretty hard to keep telling coherent lies like that. His mind and will really are sharp and strong as a katana. Alright, what should I tackle first this time? Tackle his testimony. I think there might be an inconsistency in Prosecutor Blackwill's testimony. Let's see what we got here. With a feeling of dread, I opened the robotics lab door. Just then, Ponko attacked me. I retaliated by cutting it into pieces. But before I could lead Athena out of there, curse my luck, Dr. Sykes came in. I refused to hand Athena over, so I had no choice but to kill my mentor. Oh, there definitely is. Yes, Athena? Something's not right. Keep it up. Something's not right. I'm not buying it.
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor. Compounding lies with more lies is never the answer, Prosecutor Blackquill. Take a look at this photo. Yes, it is, Your Honor. The ironic thing is, I think this picture is actually going to be your savior now. See the blood stain at the end of Ponko's arm, where it was severed with the katana? No. Most likely, the blood was transferred there from the bloody katana. Yes, it did. That's right. But if that's the case, we found a glaring inconsistency. Prosecutor Blackquill, you said in your testimony that you cut up Ponko and then you killed Dr. Sykes. But in spite of that, the victim's blood is already on Ponko's arm in this picture. Exactly. In order for the blood to have transferred from the sword to Ponko's arm, the victim must have been stabbed first before the robot was slashed. In other words, Prosecutor Blackquill, your entire testimony is nothing but one giant ball of lies. Tell the truth. Tell the court the truth, Prosecutor Blackquill, now! Oh, I know exactly what I'm doing, Prosecutor Blackquill. Rampaging emotions, huh? Sure about that, Prosecutor Blackquill? Prosecutor Blackquill, you are on the witness stand. You are obliged to tell the truth. Isn't that the rule of the courtroom? They seem to be flowing from one source. I think whatever he really saw that day is what's causing these feelings. What the hell? Whoa! Following the sound of crying, I opened the lab door, then I saw the terrible scene. But before I could lead Athena out of there, curse my luck, Dr. Sykes came in. I had no choice but to kill my mentor. Something's not right.
Got it!
Got it. When you opened the door and saw Athena, you became overwhelmed by your emotions. Is that right, Prosecutor Blackquill? Prosecutor Blackquill, Miss Sykes is innocent. I will always believe that with all my heart. Now, can't you find it within yourself to believe in me as well? Yes, I can, Prosecutor Blackquill. I can believe that Athena is innocent. I give you my word. Now tell me what you really saw when you opened that door. Now! It's a tragedy, one I'll never forget. When I arrived at the lab, Dr. Sykes was already dead. She was lying on the operating table, while the bloody katana lay on the floor. And standing between the two, covered in blood, was Athena. Here we go, everyone. She smiled with a far-off look in her eyes as she sweetly said, "Something's wrong with Mother, so I'm taking her apart." Yeah. There you go, everyone. That is the reason why Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies was ruled M for mature. Basically, to put it simple, Athena tried to basically repair her own mother. How's that for messed up? Prosecutor Blackquill finally tells the truth, and this is what it is? It's beyond devastating. Athena.
Objection!
I don't think so, Edgeworth. I still don't believe that Athena actually killed her own mother. Dr. Sykes could be awkward with people, but she loved her daughter with all her heart. Indeed. Those are the headphones that Athena's mother made for her. They emitted sound waves to nullify emotional input in the voices of people around you. Your power is much stronger than it is right now. Those headphones would enable you to carry on with everyday life. I love you, it's real. That I can guarantee. That is why I knew. That what happened had to be some kind of mistake. I couldn't let you be punished for it. She took the blame herself. You and your mentor are more alike than you know. Ponko was a witness, so I put it in the case. Held Athena close and vacated the lab. I threw Ponko away in the boarding lounge trash chute. That's what was in the trash chute. I hid the case on the Space Center grounds.
Hold it!
Hold it! Not yet. Can't end like this.
Objection!
Oh, I'm not done yet, Edgeworth. Not with this. I can't give up now. I have to say something, anything, even if it's a bluff. I've always managed to pull through that way in the past. I have to make it work. The defense is prepared to present evidence. Yes, Athena? What are you saying, Athena? No, she did not. No. Why would she confess to a crime she did not commit? That's what I like to know. She did not kill her own mother. I have a feeling I know who the real killer is, though. Prosecutor Blackquill will be cleared, and the dark age of the law can come to an end. No. She's lying. No. Yes.
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor! I do, Your Honor.
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor. Don't tell me you've forgotten one of the basic tenets of lawyering. Always believe in the client to the bitter end. Athena, you are not a murderer.
Objection!
Sure about that, Edgeworth? Emotionalism? Don't lecture me on matters of the heart, Edgeworth. Because I can see straight into a person's soul. Here we go! The Cyclops, the black ones. And there's Pearl. Part of her heart and her memories are sealed off, even from herself. There's still a chance, somewhere deep in Athena's heart. There might still be a memory that not even she knows about yet. It might be like looking for a grain of sand somewhere in the cosmos, but still. That memory could contain a new fact that could prove her innocence. Oh, I am not bluffing there, Your Honor. I would have admitted that if I was. Yes, there is. There's definitely something wrong with her memory of the event. I can just tell. Yes, there is, Your Honor. Gladly. Yes, it is, Your Honor. I respectfully and vehemently disagree, Your Honor. That's exactly my point. If Boyd really did get on your fingers while you were holding it, there should be blood on the handle. But please focus on the handle of this sword. There's not a single trace of blood on it. And therefore, this is clearly a contradiction of the facts.
Objection!
Sure about that, Prosecutor Edgeworth? I don't think so.
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor. She also said, there's no question I remember it. A fact we cannot ignore. Gladly, Edgeworth. Fine. I don't want to say that Athena didn't stab anyone. I want to say that she didn't. But she said it herself that she remembers the feeling of committing the act. I'm not buying it. Miss Sykes said blood flowed down the handle, but the katana's handle is spotless. So doesn't it follow that the defendant must have used a weapon other than the katana? This is it. This time I found just the thing to end Athena's nightmare for good. The weapon that took Dr. Sykes' life was the katana. That much is for sure. So if I could show a possibility that Athena did not use a katana, it could help me prove her innocent. Oh, what? One sec, everyone. One moment, everyone. Sorry about that, everyone. I cannot back down. Not here, not now. That's right, I did. This is so obvious, it does not require any thought. Okay, so maybe that was an exaggeration, but there has to be something. Was there something other? Was there some other bladed weapon in the robotics lab that day? Maybe there's something in one of the crime scene photos. Wait a minute, there is something! There's a high probability that that was in the lab. I don't have that particular weapon here in the evidence right now, but I do have a piece of evidence just like it. Other than the katana, there was another blade that may have been at the crime scene. Right there! The utility knife. Bingo.
Take that!
Yes, it is, Your Honor. That's the murder weapon in the Clay Tarrant case. Yup. This is the night that took Mr. Tarrant's life. There must have been a knife just like this at the scene 7 years ago as well. Toolkits containing utility knives like this one, are issued to Space Center employees. And a robotics lab especially would naturally have one of these around.
Objection!
Besides the katana, no other bladed weapon was found at the site. It was in the investigation report, if you didn't know.
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor! I know that, Edgeworth. What you told me just now, I already know that. And here's something else you already knew. It was a toolkit at the scene. Yes, I know that, Edgeworth. Oh, I see a couple of bladed tools. Take a look right at the far left. Inside that box. That screwdriver. The screwdriver can be used as a weapon, everyone. Fine. But isn't there something odd about the design of these handles?
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor! I disagree. This toolkit contains a knife. It contained a knife. What proof do I have of that? Don't tell me your eye for art is failing you, too, Mr. Edgeworth. I know that, Your Honor. Notice that the handles of each of these tools has this sort of design on them. What significance does that have? It's clear that one of the tools is missing from this kit. If we rearrange the tools into a specific pattern, we might be able to tell which part of the overall design is missing. You know what? Let's take a look. Take a look at the bottom of that knife. The handle of it. Somebody rearranged the pattern inside that toolkit. Edgeworth, just let it go, man. Gladly, Your Honor. Gladly, Your Honor. And you as well, Edgeworth. You know what? Let's take a look before we check this out. Right there.
Take that!
The GYAXA logo, Your Honor. It's on all the Space Center's documents and pamphlets. As you're aware, GYAXA is the program that operates the Cosmos Space Center. GYAXA. Right there. Yes, with just the tools shown in the photo, the red A part of the logo is missing. Right there, the bottom of the knife. And this is where the murder weapon from the Tarrant case comes into play. If we were to place the utility knife in the open slot, right there, it will complete the GYXA logo. Admit it, Mr. Edgeworth. My aesthetic scent is keener than yours. And while you're at it, admit that the weapon Miss Sykes used could have been this one. Miss Sykes confessed to having a memory of stabbing the victim. Admittedly, Miss Sykes most likely did stab someone using the utility knife. However, the weapon used to kill Dr. Sykes was the katana. Therefore, the act of stabbing that Miss Sykes remembers could not be that of Dr. Sykes. Oh, it changes everything there, Edgeworth. Come again? Used as a decoy? I think not. Don't be ridiculous. Or are you changing the premise of your entire argument, Edgeworth? Hypothetical situation derived from my logic? Concealed the knife on her personage till Blackquill carried her away? I don't think so. One main reason why, if Athena had actually used the knife and actually had it on her person, she would have had blood on her clothing. Yes, I know that, Edgeworth. You have just proven the knife's existence to the rest of us, Your Honor.
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor! The prosecution is attempting to lead the court. I'm not buying it. She did not kill her own mother. Suspicion keeps coming back to the defendant because it's where it belongs. I'm not buying it. I already did, Edgeworth. You're the one who hasn't. That's because it's not true. I don't buy it. Is giving up really the only option? No. Snap out of it. What's the matter with you? Giving a doubt? I can't look back. Forward is the only way to go. No, Your Honor! Not yet! It's not over yet! I can't lose sight of what's important. I believe in Athena, and I'll always believe in her to the very end. A defense lawyer never gives up on his client. I had to pick myself up and stand firm. If I don't see a way, I'll just have to go back and look for one. Time to rethink this case thoroughly. I could see the fact that Athena must have stabbed someone with the utility knife. This must have been what Ponko witnessed as Athena's hug. But Prosecutor Blackquill did not see the knife at the scene. This means that someone must have removed it from the lab before he arrived. Third person was at the scene. If I trust in Athena, then I have to conclude that there was a third person at the scene. But according to Ponko's testimony, Athena and her mother were the only ones there. So then, how did the third person manage to escape Ponko's detection? Gotcha. I know. This person must have fooled Ponko's facial recognition feature by covering their own face. But wait a minute. Ponko has a heartbeat detection system as well. Even if they covered their own face, Ponko would have still detected their presence. But she wouldn't have been able to tell who they were. Wait, that's it. The culprit could have covered their face and posed as which person to avoid detection. Gotcha. Bingo. The person posed as the victim. If the culprit poses the victim, that would explain why Ponko thought only she and Athena were there. All they would have to do was take advantage of Ponko's basic recognition features. The culprit used this in order to pose as the victim. Her jacket. She actually had taken it off. Bingo. The culprit could have posed as a victim by wearing her jacket with the ID tag on it. But that still leaves the heartbeat detection system. How did the culprit get around that? It wouldn't have worked if Ponko could detect the real Dr. Sykes' heartbeat, too. So does that mean that the real Dr. Sykes was already dead by that time? If that's the case, then who did Athena stab? Gotcha. Athena stabbed the real culprit. The person Athena stabbed was not Dr. Sykes. It was the person who murdered her and then tried to pretend to be her. The real culprit. Objection, Your Honor! I didn't say I was finished. I was only pausing for a second. Because I realized something so shocking, I just took a break to digest it. But now, I know for a fact that Miss Sykes is innocent. Yes, Ponko did witness something. She saw the hug. In other words, the moment you used the utility knife. But the person you stabbed was not your mother. The answer is simple. The person Miss Sykes stabbed was the third person posing as Dr. Sykes.
Objection!
Yes, I do, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Robots can make mistakes too, you know.
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor. After all we've been through, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm disappointed. Don't you know by now that the smile of mine means I have absolute confidence? Ponko's strange malfunction Mr. Terran, that's Apollo you're talking to. was another case of mistaken identity caused by the jacket ID tag. All because Quanko couldn't read Apollo's facial features due to the eye patch. Like Mr. Edgeworth said, a mask could nullify the robot's facial recognition, and then all the person would have to do is wear a jacket with the victim's ID tag to pose as her.
Objection!
Silly disguise, you say? I'm aware of that, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Sure about that? Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but that does not count for very much, I'm afraid. Because by that time, Dr. Sykes' heart had already stopped beating. Yes, it does, Your Honor. The person Miss Sykes stabbed, this third person who is posing as Dr. Sykes, is her mother's real killer. She's starting to remember it. Athena, what is it? Here we go, everyone! The Cyclops. The black Cyclops, that is. The black Cyclops. They're breaking. They're gone! The black Cyclops are finally gone. You didn't really stab your mother, did you, Athena? It's alright, Athena. Just tell us what you saw that day. I was showing a picture. When I was done, I wanted to show it to my mother. I opened the door, and then... It's alright, I'm right here. You're safe, Athena. Hold it! Quiet, Your Honor. Go on, Athena. This time you got him, didn't you? Yeah, I clearly now. The knife went to the back of his hand. Then he kicked me and I passed out. When I came to, my mother wasn't moving. I had to do something. I had to fix her, I thought. So I asked Ponko to move her to the operating table. So that's why she said that. Your Honor, as you can see, the defendant has just given us critical new testimony. A man was there before Miss Sykes arrived. A man who covered the victim's face and put on the victim's jacket. This man is the real culprit. Miss Sykes, do you have any idea who this man was? A few moments ago, Miss Sykes mentioned a mask. Athena, can you tell us anything else about that? The Japanese theater mask, aka a kabuki mask. See. Right there! There it is. Right on the wall. That is her kabuki, or Japanese theater mask, aka her kabuki mask. There it is. Mm-hmm. No mask even has the power to turn an ordinary human being into a phantom. No! Miss Blackquill! This is not good. She's right. We don't have any hard evidence of the masked man's existence.
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor! Athena, glad for you. Ponko came to the robotics lab at about 2 p.m. to recharge. Wait a sec. Time of death between 1 and 3 p.m. If he was actually charging at the time, he would have actually been in sleep mode. Which means that there's no way that he would have actually noticed who actually killed Athena's mother. Right there! I see where you're going to this. Matisse is really the killer in disguise. He must have come to the robotics lab before 2 p.m. Bingo! Do I have anything here in the evidence that can help me find this person who came to the lab before 2 p.m.? I believe we do. You know what? I think we do. I think we do actually have some evidence. And it's right here.
Take that!
This is Prosecutor Blackquill leaving the scene after the incident at around 3 p.m. What I'm wondering is, does the video show anyone else passing by there before then? There you go. Just as I thought. So if we were to rewind the footage and go back to around 2 p.m., we should be able to see the true culprit leaving the scene. Let's take a look, shall we? Stop there. Please stop it right there. Right there! You can see the stab wound on his hand. Miss Sykes. Do you remember this person? I thought so. That jacket on display, that was Dr. Sykes. Right there! That slash mark on his hand. Yep. With the utility knife. Yep. Exactly. It proves that Miss Sykes' memory, it was correct. Dr. Sykes' killer arrived at the robotics lab before 2 p.m. He killed her and hit her face with a handkerchief. Then he disguised himself with Dr. Sykes' jacket and mask that were there in the lab. The culprit probably knew beforehand that Ponko charged up at 2 p.m. every day. So he waited for Ponko to come to the lab for a regular recharge. By leaving Dr. Sykes' jacket on, the culprit tricked Ponko into thinking he was Dr. Sykes, thereby making it look like she was alive up to that point in time. All to disguise the real time of death.
Objection!
Oh, it's not just a nice theory, Prosecutor Edgeworth. It's the right theory. Not possible, you say? Why not? Yes, I know. Wait a sec. The jacket is ripped. Wait a sec. Athena stated earlier that she had actually, when she used the utility knife, she had actually got the killer's clothing. That must be what she actually hit. Yes, I'm aware of that. What's going on? That doesn't make any sense. Edgeworth's right. If the culprit was wearing the jacket, how did it get back to the lab? Let's see what we got here. Gotcha. Simple. The killer used the jacket as a disguise to make his escape. But in order to conceal that fact, he had to get the jacket back to the crime scene. So the culprit simply returned the robotics lab later and planted it there. Contradiction resolved.
Objection!
Impossible, you say? How so? Puzzling question indeed. That is true. When the culprit had the chance to bring the jacket back? That is an interesting question. Simple. When the body was found. The only time the culprit could have returned the jacket was when the body was found. Yes. I realize that, Prosecutor Edgeworth. I do realize the implication of that argument. Most people, when they come across a murder, focus their attention on the body. The culprit could have taken advantage of the split second to plant the jacket. In other words, the true culprit of this case, the man known as the Phantom, was one of the first people to discover the body. What is the meaning of this, Prosecutor Edgeworth? The body was discovered and reported by a group of 3 people. They were there to collect the space probe's capsule in preparation for the HAT-1 launch. One of those people had a special bag to transport the capsule in. Oh, you mean the shock-resistant bag? Yes. Correct. Suppose that if the jacket was in that bag, it could have been returned to the scene of the crime without anybody noticing. If this person felt the need to hide his face with that theater mask. It might mean that his facial data was once registered. I have to admit, I believe Miss Sykes' memories to be credible. Yes, it does, Athena. That's exactly what it means. I can't believe it. It's over. I won. Oh, we're not done yet, everyone. I proved that both Athena and Prosecutor Blackquill are innocent.
Objection!
We're not done yet, everyone. We are not done yet. All these years, hating Athena was the only thing that's kept me going. What do I do now? Can anybody tell me? How am I supposed to go on? Miss Blackquill. Matisse was deeply passionate about her work. And she chose you as her partner, isn't that... What exactly did you want from her? Very well. What? You do? Phantom 7 years passed. That's right. The Phantom. The person Blackquill has been looking for, even from behind bars. 7 years ago, somebody hatched a plan to sabotage the HAT-1 rocket. The spy. He was no ordinary spy. We knew naught about him. His background, appearance... We came to refer to him as the Phantom. At the time, I was working with the police to hunt him down. And then one day, a miracle occurred, and I obtained a lead on him. What was the lead? A recording of the Phantom's voice, but the quality was too poor for proper voice analysis. Yet, I had hope. Aura's co-worker was the scientist who could analyze human emotions. So I asked her to evaluate the recording using analytical psychology. That scientist was Dr. Sykes? Yes. The spy's greatest fear is to have his true identity discovered. Very true. In addition to HAT-1, Dr. Sykes' results and the recording were surely among his targets. But his search of the Space Center bore no fruit. They must have started to panic. They couldn't find them? But where could they have been? But he's never let that out of his sight all these years. What? Worked to lure the Phantom in by spreading rumors throughout the underworld. I was even granted permission to prosecute cases to attract the Phantom's attention. And identity. Just try to retrieve your identity. Bloody butcher became my taunt. What about the results Dr. Sykes drew up for you? Was there any useful information? I better hold on to this real tight. Phantom Psych Profile. The subject's emotions rarely fluctuate. He doesn't experience feelings like normal people. Psychological profile classified. Emotional output of this voice extremely weak compared to typical voices. Subject deemed to have unique psychological makeup with almost no emotional fluctuation. No emotional fluctuation, huh? Definitely sounds like someone I could think of. Spy who experiences no emotions, not sadness nor anger, and naturally no fear. He is the very definition of a phantom, a monster with no heart. This creature is the rot that destroyed our lives and set what ails us into motion. Phantom indeed. A fitting name for the one who has brought darkness to our world. It seems a faint image of this man has started to take shape. Based on what we have learned, I'd like all of you to conduct further investigation. This is not a formal trial, but I do want to follow protocol. If I may, I would like to hand down my verdicts and bring these proceedings to an end. Yes, please, Your Honor. It's over. It's finally over. In that case, Prosecutor Blackquill, could you please take the stand? As a result of this trial, your innocence has been proven. The verdict handed down 7 years ago is hereby overturned. And now, the defendant of the current trial, Miss Athena Sykes. Athena, you're more than welcome. If everyone is ready, I will now give my verdict. Objection, Your Honor! Apollo? What the? Oh, we're not done yet, everyone. We are not done yet. Like I mentioned before. However, I can't allow this trial to end just yet. Why would you do this to us? Oh, we're not done yet, everyone. We are not done yet. Here we go, everyone. Mr. Justice, please explain yourself. It's very simple. There isn't much to explain. The defendant, Miss Athena Sykes, might not be innocent. What? What are you talking about, Apollo? The case from 7 years ago has already been settled. What? No! He's talking about the Clay Tarrant case. That is very true. Miss Sykes, please listen quietly to what I have to say. What's Apollo trying to do? Your Honor, please allow me a little of the court's time. Miss Blackquill, I'd like to ask a favor of you. Just as you lost someone close to you, I lost someone close to me as well. I'm sure you want to know the real truth of what happened as much as I do. Let's hear Mr. Justice's testimony. I'll have the police's investigation report immediately. I really hope it's because you have something up your sleeve, Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please, Prosecutor Edgeworth. As you wish. Let's review the case of the murder of Mr. Clay Tarrant. It was made clear in the previous trial that Solomon Starbuck was not his killer. Therefore, the true culprit was someone else. On that day, this culprit waited for the astronauts in boarding lounge 1. When the two men made their escape out of the Space Museum, the killer attacked Mr. Tarrant with the same type of knife that was used 7 years ago. The murderer then escaped into the Space Museum. Next, Director Yuri Cosmos switched the launch pads. After that, the culprit exited the Space Museum and escaped via boarding lounge 2. Therefore, this trial must make clear who Mr. Tarrant's true killer was. In other words, we must discover who it was that escaped through the Space Museum that day. Yes, I am, Your Honor. I better rearrange my evidence. Relevant evidence swapped into the court record. Now then, Mr. Justice, your testimony, if you please. Apollo Justice's accusation. I suspected Miss Sykes of the murder of Clay Terran. My growing suspicions were confirmed when this incriminating evidence presented itself. The lighter. In addition, she's the only one who could have utilized the launch pad switch to escape. That is why I wish to indict Miss Sykes on the charge of murder. What? Mr. Justice, you realize you're charging your own co-worker with murder, don't you? What? Gladly, Apollo. And you are not going to like it, either. I don't get it. Just what did you find out over the past few days that made you think this? You're not gonna like this, Apollo. Because I already know that Athena did not commit the murder. She did not kill Clay, and she did not kill her mother, either. Let's see what we have here.
Hold it!
Hold it. What first made you suspicious of Miss Sykes? It all started when Miss Sykes and I were investigating the crime scene. When she saw the weapon that killed Mr. Terran, my bracelet reacted. She said she'd never seen the knife before, but my bracelet told me otherwise. And then, every time after that, my bracelet would react when she talked about the case. Poor Apollo must be beside himself during that investigation. I didn't know what to think or do. I couldn't even sleep. In that condition, I knew I wouldn't be any good in court. So I decided to wear an eye patch so I wouldn't be able to perceive any of her tells. That's why Apollo was acting so strangely. But the reason Miss Sykes unconsciously reacted to the knife that way is because she stabbed her mother's murderer with one identical to it 7 years ago.
Objection!
I guess he has a point. My growing suspicions were confirmed when this incriminating evidence presented itself. That's the lighter. It was actually found when the Space Center got caught in a blackout. The elevators were actually shut down due to an explosion. Hold it! That's the lighter that was found in the Space Museum with their fingerprints on it, right? But even if it seems decisive, there must be other facts we don't know about it yet. Gladly, Apollo. Honestly, I don't want to believe it's true either, but Miss Sykes was the only one who was in the Space Museum at the time of the murder. But Mr. Justice, Miss Sykes had absolutely no motive to kill Mr. Terran.
Objection!
Yes, I know that. Wouldn't be strange if she had some kind of connection to him. Yes, I know that, Apollo. I still can't believe this. How can you actually suspect Athena, Apollo? I'm not buying it.
Hold it!
Hold it. Isn't it possible that someone else used the same escape route? Why not? Yes, I know about the security camera. Also, another security camera in boarding lounge 2. It recorded Mr. Terran's killer, or rather Miss Sykes, coming out of the Space Museum. I don't buy it. Camera in boarding lounge 2. First time I've heard of it, but it does make sense. Athena said she had snuck into the Space Museum the night before the incident, and then was overcome and passed out until around noon the next day. It was out until about noon on the next noon of the next day. I didn't even know about the explosions. When I woke up, nobody was around, so I just went into boarding lounge 2. That must have been when the camera captured her. That must be what Apollo... That's what made Apollo suspect her even more. But wait a minute. In that case, it most likely recorded the true culprit as well.
Objection!
What? I'm not buying it. That can't be. But if it is, then it's incredibly incriminating. Yes, Prosecutor Edgeworth, I know that. One moment, everyone. Sorry about that, everyone. So why, which shouldn't I miss Sykes on the charge of murder? I'm not buying it. No, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Hold it!
Hold it. Believing in your client is to the end is a basic principle of good defense. Shouldn't you extend that same principle to your own co-worker there, Apollo? Clay and Apollo are buddies. Apollo suspected his trusted co-worker of killing his friend. To dispel his doubts, he investigated on his own, but that only led to more doubts. Apollo must have really struggled with this. Well, Apollo may have doubts, however, I'll say it again. Athena Sykes is not the murderer. I know that, Apollo. Evidence is everything in court. Sorry about that, everyone. Just got distracted for a moment. Concrete proof to knock down my argument? Yes, Apollo, I do. I think your theory is nothing but lies there, Apollo, as much as I hate to admit it. Yes. Yes, there was an alternate escape route. Yes, of course it must have been. Just don't ask me what. Sure about that, Apollo? Me bluff? No. What? Wait a minute! So this is what this is all about? I believe you're right. The prosecutors painstakingly questioned every detail in pursuit of the defendant. While we lawyers believe in and defend our clients to the end. Precisely. Yes, I would. That's all like Apollo. Always uber earnest about things like this. Mr. Justice, I vow to dispel every last bit of doubt in your heart. Really hoping there was an alternative route, aren't you, Apollo? But if I use the process of elimination, there really aren't that many possibilities. Director Cosmos was at the southern exit, leaving only the control room and the corridor to the Space Museum. Which door could the culprit have escaped through? Gotcha.
Take that!
They really only could have escaped to the corridor of the Space Museum. All they had to do was use the unconscious Mr. Starbuck's prince to get through the door.
Objection!
Sure about that, Prosecutor Edgeworth? Logical conclusion of my argument? But Miss Sykes was the only person captured by the boarding lounge 2 security camera. What can the answer be? Was there really no other escape route? Hold on a sec. What if... Wait a sec! Where did those mysterious leaves we saw in the corridor come from? What if they're a clue to the culprit's real escape route? I think it is possible that the culprit escaped into the Space Museum, but then came out using a route other than the boarding lounge 2. Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum were switched after the bombing, meaning the Space Museum corridor was moving along the rail at the time, which which is exactly when an alternative escape route opened up for a culprit. No, I am not. Gladly, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Where could the culprit have gone from the museum corridor besides boarding lounge 2? That is a simple answer.
Take that!
We found something odd while investigating the museum corridor this afternoon. Namely, a few dead leaves on the floor. Considering where dead leaves come from, they point us to exactly where the culprit had escaped to. Yup. While the Space Museum was in motion, just beyond the corridor safety door was an alternative place that the culprit could use to escape. In other words, the culprit's real escape route was the area outside the Space Center!
Objection!
Oh, I'm quite aware of that, Apollo. Which brings me to another thing. What about this? The emergency ladder.
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor. Ordinarily, yes. But after the bombing incident, the culprit could make use of a certain item. Alright. This is what the culprit used to lead to the outside wall of the main building.
Take that!
Right there. An emergency ladder. There was an emergency ladder in the 4th floor robotics lab, and it was used that day after the explosion to help evacuate people. Miss Blackquill herself used that ladder to escape down to ground level. Recall that the launch pads were switched after the ladder was lowered. The corridor would have passed by the ladder while the pads were being switched. And that's when the culprit literally sprang into action. And leaped onto the ladder. Exactly. Someone other than Miss Sykes could have been the culprit.
Objection!
Yep. Oh, I'm not making things up on the fly. Alright then, name one. Distance between the museum corridor and the main building during movement is full 20 feet. What? You're lying, right? You're pulling my leg. Precarious place. An unstable ladder. Ugh. I would know that because I used to have a fear of heights. Not anymore though, but I used to.
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor. The culprit had just murdered someone. They weren't in an ordinary state of mind.
Objection!
Oh, yes, they would. I definitely think they would.
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor. But because it was the security camera in boarding lounge 2, the culprit knew it would be recorded if they left the Space Museum that way.
Objection!
That's a good point. That's also a good point. Damn it. He's got a point. Enough, Edgeworth. Sure about that, Edgeworth? Oh, I have no fear at all. Wait a minute. Aha! I got it this time. I can prove there is someone who could have used that alternate escape route. Oh, yes I can there, Edgeworth. This proves the possibility of a person who could have used the alternate escape route. Gotcha. Right there.
Take that!
This is a certain person's very interesting psych profile. The subject doesn't experience feelings like normal people do. In other words, this person does not feel happiness, sadness, or fear. Nope. Just like myself. I don't feel any fear at all. Who said I was serious? Without the constraint of fear, he could easily have done what an ordinary person would not dare. Just as you or I could do a broad jump on the ground without the slightest fear, this subject could make a 20-foot leap 50 feet up in the air. He could choose the extreme way of escaping without hesitation. Oh, yes I am. I'm talking about that. Don't take the chance of them being spotted. Yep. Yes, there was. The Phantom. That mysterious shadowy figure who keeps popping up. I knew the Phantom was there behind the scenes, the Space Center bombing. But I wasn't sure if he was connected to the murder of Clay Terran as well. However, now it's all clear. The Phantom is the one who not only bombed the Space Center, but also killed Mr. Terran. Gladly, Your Honor. There were just too many similarities between this case and the one from 7 years ago. But why, you may ask? It's only because both incidents were the work of the same Phantom. Yes. This Phantom has been haunting this case, pulling the strings in the background. Who could this unidentified international spy be? Yes, I think you're right. However, it doesn't explain this one last thing. So I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. But it was such a pain. Why couldn't they have used the ladders in the other rooms? Right there! The upper level ladder. The robotics lab wasn't the only room with an emergency ladder. But he couldn't have made that leap unless he was certain which one it would be. Exactly. With someone who knew that particular ladder was going to be used. That's right. Wait a minute. So I lowered my emergency ladder like this. A detective leading the evacuation told me to. Miss Blackquill lowered the ladder after being told by the detective leading the evacuation. I got it! Yes! I got it! Yes, I do! Prosecutor Edgeworth. I know exactly who it is. Oh my god! I knew it the whole time! Oh my god. Gotcha! After the explosions, a member of the staff crossed paths with a certain detective. I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. I asked for the detective who was leading the evacuation from the 4th floor. He had a very specific objective in mind. So I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. The objective was to secure his own escape route. We lowered an emergency ladder from a 4th floor window and escaped that way. Once everyone else got out safely, I made my way down and headed to the shelter. This is a detective you all know. He's even the lead detective on this current case. He appears to be a very emotional man, but his psych profile says he is without emotion.
Take that!
Take that! Robert Fulbright. Gotcha! Yes! Woo, yes! We were all taken in by his fake persona. Detective Fulbright's real identity is the Phantom. That's easy, Your Honor. Detective Fulbright was leading the 4th floor evacuation effort. Our first clue is that he made no attempt to have any ladder put to use. Any other ladder. The ladder in the robotics lab is the only one he ordered to be lowered. The second is that he directed everybody to the basement shelter via this ladder. After Detective Fulbright saw to this that the ladder was lowered from the robotics lab and went to the lounge where he killed Clay Terran and escaped into the Space Museum. The museum started moving slowly, so he waited for the right time. Got a running start, and just as the corridor was passing the ladder, he leaped onto it. Exactly. It was all just a huge lie. He's the one who brought that blitzing lighter to court, too. Exactly. A scumbag even made me turn on Athena. Your Honor, the defense demands to question Detective Robert Fulbright. Don't thank me yet, Athena. We still have an uphill battle to fight. Apollo? Ugh. This is awkward. Athena, can you do me a favor? You punch me, please. I should have believed in you. I let the seed of doubt inside me get the best of me. I'm really sorry that I didn't trust. I'd be such a dope. Through a touch from what you did. You didn't have any trouble slapping him a second ago, Athena. Guess I know now who to call if I ever get sleepy in court. Miles? Prosecutor Edgeworth. I should say Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. Not afraid to keep me in line. Sure seeing all the others? good. I wonder what it is. Miss Blackquill. She better not be here to complain about something. Miss Blackquill, I want to apologize to you. The fact that you couldn't trust the court system is our fault. We'll get him. I guess that means she's starting to trust us at least. Prosecutor Blackquill. This love can take on a variety of expressions, including stunted in their case. What Miss Blackquill did was inexcusable. But it's clear she did it out of love for her own brother. Everyone, I'm done for now. I might get back to this tomorrow. I might get back to this later on, but I'm probably gonna wait till tomorrow to actually finish up this case. Most likely, I'll wait till tomorrow. Now, before I go, one thing I should mention. Starting next week, I'm most likely not going to be doing much gaming. Probably for the rest of the month. Actually, for much of August. You know, because of this medical stuff. If I do get a chance to do some streaming, I will. But probably not going to be able to do much of it. Till next time, everyone, this has been a Sailor Terror Death 99, aka the Black Cobra, and I will catch you all tomorrow. And tomorrow we will finish up this case. I can personally guarantee it. Well, everyone, Sayonara.